شهر رمضان الذي أنزل فيه القرآن هدى للناس وبينات من الهدى والفرقان فمن شهد منكم الشهر فليصمه ومن كان مريضا أو على سفر فعدة من أيام أخر.
Brothers and sisters, we spoke yesterday about the young man Mus'ab ibn Umayr, and today we speak another model of Islam, a beautiful model, and I wish that every one of us follow this model. His name is Salman Al-Farsi. Salman was born in Fars, which is Iran now. He grew up with a rich father and he used to worship fire. As you know, the Persians worship fire for a long time. Salman and his father's farm or dynasty, he was in charge of keeping the fire alive all the time. That was his job, to make sure his God is up all the time. That's his fire. One day, Salman was a young man, so he always obeyed. He loved his father so much, and his father loved him as well. One day, his father, early in the morning, he said, "Ya Salman, go to our farm in this land and take care of a few things for me." Salman, obedient son, took himself and he started going toward the farm that his father told him to do. While he was going there, he passed by a church. He never really entered a church before, but out of curiosity, that's the youth curiosity, he entered the church. And he find people not worshipping fire, but worshipping Allah. So that was early in the morning, so he sat there all day until the sun set. And he was just amazed by people know that there is God, not the fire. And his father sent, he thought he died or something happened to him, so he sent somebody to look for him. So they found him and he went back. This night, sitting around the fire, his father said, "I sent you to do something to come back. What happened?" So he says, "Well, Dad, I found something much, much better than our religion. I found a new religion. People who believe in God, the unseen God. And I spent the whole day with them, and I believe that they are right and we're wrong." So his father debated back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Finally, his father got sick of him, and he ordered the chains around his foot, and he tied up both feet in chains and tied him in his house. And he said, "You're not going anywhere." Well, Salman was very upset and sad, but he never forgot that day he spent in the church. Then people from the church came to visit him, and he said, "Please, where did you get this religion? Where is the original place that I can really learn more?" You know, he's in Persia. And they told him, "This is in Damascus. The main people who have the religion is in Damascus." So he said, "Please, if you have somebody coming and traveling back there, just let me know." He said, "What are you going to do? You've changed it, you know, in the change." He said, "Just don't worry about it. Just let me know." So one man came to him and said, "Well, there's a group came from Damascus and they're leaving in a few days." He said, "Tell them I'll travel with them." So the man laughed, how are you going to travel on chains? Anyway, Salman, he was a very strong man. He was in the army also of the Kisra. So he broke the chains and he escaped. And he went to Damascus. Now see, brothers and sisters, he lived a wonderful life. He lived in a kingdom. A father who loved him. He's rich, he has money, he has land. And he was in charge of their God, so what more? But once he finds the truth, as Mus'ab ibn Umayr yesterday sacrificed for his good looks and clothes and food and money, Salman did the same thing, left everything behind him and he traveled to a land he never traveled before. When he went to Damascus, he asked where is the man who's in charge of the church. So he met the first priest and he told him that I converted to your religion and I want to sit down with you and learn. Is he learning? He's seeking knowledge. How many of us nowadays really seek knowledge? And travel, leave everything behind, his family, his money, his wealth, for his faith. Salman did that. So he sat with this man and he learned from him Christianity, but he found that the guy does something really bad. He collects money from people, from the rich, and instead of giving to the poor, he hides it himself. So he did not like that at all. Anyway, after a while, the man saved a lot of money, but he died. He didn't take anything with him. And Salman looked at that and he said, see, money doesn't go anywhere. But money doesn't follow you anywhere. He stole the people's money, saved it, and what happened? The angel of death came and got him. Well, they sent another priest, a new priest, and he said, he was a wonderful man. He never saw any such a good man. Good morals, good character, love Allah, and he was on the true path of Isa alayhi salam. So he spent with him time, he learned very well, and spent some time with him until this man is about to die. So he said to him, can you please tell me, where do I find men like you so I can learn from him? He said, there's not too many. But there is a man exactly in Isa true way, but he's in Rome. Salman is what? Persian. The Romans are what? The enemies of the Persians. Did Salman care? Salman carried everything and he traveled to Rome and find the church that he told him. And he went to that man and he stayed with him a few more years, learning from him and, learn anything that he can. Then he says, the man again is an old priest that he's dying. So he said to him, where can I go? He said, there's only one guy that's left. Where do you think he is? He's in Iraq, in Mosul. So he traveled again from Rome all the way to Mosul. And he stayed with that man and he learned from him until, he said to him, anything left? He said, no, you might have to go back to Damascus, and the guy passed away as well. So Salman again now seeking the truth and he can't find anybody. But before the man died, he says, there is the time, there is a new prophet will come. And this prophet will be in a land that has a lot of mountains and has a lot of date trees. So that's your first clue. And he says, number two, he does not eat from sadaqah. And number three, he accepts a gift, a hadiyah or a gift, he accepts. And number four, you will find between his two shoulders Khatam and Nubuwwah, which is a sign of prophethood. It's a little thing in between the shoulders of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So this man, he does not know what land that has mountains and will have this kind of things. So Salman bought some cows and some sheep and he's raising them. And he found a group of Arabs traveling and he said, maybe these Arabs will take me to where they have the dates. He knows the only date trees is in the Arab Peninsula. So he asked them, he said, can you take me with you to your land and I'll give you my cows and my sheep? So he said, sure, yeah, would come with us. So he traveled with them, and when he traveled with them, they took his cows, they took his sheep, and when he get to the Arabian area, he found a lot of trees. So they sold him as a slave. He betrayed him and sold him as a slave to a Jewish man. So the man bought him, and he felt so sad and so upset. He's a free man traveling everywhere and being sold. Some Arabs cheated him and sold him as a slave. Well, the Jewish, he spent him serving as a slave to that Jewish man until another cousin of the Jewish man came and he gave him Salman as a gift, again as a slave. And this man was from Bani Qurayza, who lives where? In Medina. So he brought him to Medina, and Salman now working there. So one day he was on top of the palm tree and fixing it, and he said, I found my master was sitting under the tree. And he said, I'm working. And he said another cousin of him came and he said, that man came. He said, what man? He said, the one day, he said he's the prophet. He just came from Mecca and he's in Quba. He's building a mosque there. And Salman, he said, when I heard that, my whole body shook. He said, I almost fell off the tree. I dropped what I almost on the head of my master. And he said, he came down so quickly. And he asked, the man, what did he say? Repeat that again. Who came? Who came? So his master took his fist and hit him so hard that he said, go back to your work. So Salman went back to his work, but at night, he collected some of his food and he went to Masjid Quba where Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. When he went there, he came and he found the Prophet sitting among some Sahaba. So he brought the food. He said, I know you guys are traveling and you're new to this area, so I have my food as I promised as a sadaqah. So I'd like to give it to you. So the Prophet ﷺ thanked him and he put the food in front of the Sahaba and he said, Bismillah, all of you eat. And he did not touch it. So Salman in himself, he said, that's what he told me, that's the second one. He said that he does not eat from the sadaqah. So he left. The next day he brought more food and he came back to the same masjid. And he came and he says, I noticed yesterday you don't eat the sadaqah, but this is a gift for you, a hadiyah. So the Prophet ﷺ put it in front of the Sahaba and he said, Bismillah, everybody eat, and he ate as well. So Salman, he said, this is the second sign. Now we have to see the third one or the last one, which is the seal of the Prophet, which is between the Prophet ﷺ shoulder. So he said, I left home, and one day I came and I found the Prophet ﷺ and the Sahaba following a janazah to bury somebody. But the Prophet had a burda, which is a cover, like a shawl or, his shoulder, and he was with the people. So Salman came and he shook his hand and he just kept looking, on his shoulder. So the Prophet ﷺ noticed that he's doing that. So he took what he has on his shoulder off and he saw Khatam al-Nubuwwah. As soon as Salman saw that, he ran into his hands and his feet and started kissing him and he started crying. And he told the Prophet ﷺ his story, the journey that spent years looking for faith, iman, and belief. The story is longer than that of Salman, but I just give you the key to Salman's character. Salman, radiallahu anhu, the Prophet ﷺ, when they have the battle of Khandaq, he suggested to open the Khandaq as the Persians used to do in the wars. And Salman, the Ansar said, Salman minna, Salman is one of us. And Muhajirin said, no, but Salman minna. And they were fighting, he's one of us, he's one of us. And he is one of the wisest, he has the strength of Umar, the wisdom of Harun. He was very, very, he learned Christianity very well, and very good scholars, and he learned Islam as well. So the Prophet ﷺ said, Salman minna ahl al-bayt. Salman is one of the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ household. And he had that honor. Salman lived until the Khilafah of Uthman. In the Khilafah of Umar made him the Amir and gave him 5,000 dinar. When he gets the 5,000 dinar, he gave it to all poor. And he sews his own hand and he will sell his own stuff. And one day one of the Sahaba visited him and he said, I'm so sad, we're so rich. We wanted to be like the time of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Sa'd ibn Abi Waqqas. So Sa'd looked around in his room and he's an Amir. He's a prince. He's in charge of the whole town. So he looked around and he said, Wallahi, I did not find in his room except a jar for water and a little praying carpet and nothing else. I said, what is he talking about? Then he said, he's rich. He said, yes, man, don't do that to yourself. But this is the man who lived with the Prophet ﷺ. He cared about the dunya, but he cared about Allah and about his deen. This gives us, my brothers, don't run after dunya. Rizq will come from you to you from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because Allah promised, وَمَا مِن دَابَّةٍ فِي الْأَرْضِ إِلَّا عَلَى اللَّهِ رِزْقُهَا. Nothing walks on earth, man, animals, birds, ants, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala provide for. So rizq, you don't have to worry about it. But what you have to worry about is worshiping Allah correctly, obeying Allah correctly, going back to the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, seek the truth, stick to it, and be a good person.